Hello, this is Tim Porter. Thanks for stopping by. Wanted to take just a quick minute and introduce you to some of the distinctions from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Hugely successful book all around the world. It's helped millions of people climb the ladder of success both personally and professionally. So I thought I'd just touch base and just share something from that with you. I've got two outcomes from this, is to really delve into some of the nuggets that the book has to offer, and also extend an invitation that at the end of this little video, that if you're interested in the Mastering Your Memory topic for one of your upcoming meetings, just click on the time trade and we can schedule a quick 3-minute conversation to pick up that talk at that point. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I've got the audio from the Nightingale Conant, Sell Like a Pro. This is Dale Carnegie, How to Use Confidence, Enthusiasm, and Influence for Big Results. And this here is a copy of Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People for the Digital Age. I've got the book, I've lent it out, so it's not on the shelf in the library. But there's several things that this book will do is, and I'm just going to go right down the list, is it's going to help you get out of a mental rut. It's going to give you new ways to look at things. It'll change your thinking, and it will increase your ambitions, or it'll give you some ambitions that where you're at here, you'll go here. So that's just that's for starters. And then it's going to enable you to make friends quickly. It'll help you to become more popular, and key is it will help you to win people to your way of thinking when you need to. Now, everybody, we talk about one of the key distinctions when we do the Mastering Your Memory program. We talk about everybody's favorite subject is themselves. And we all know this to be true, even though we don't come right out and say it. If you were to ask me to come and speak to your group and say, hey Tim, just as an icebreaker, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself and your favorite subject? I wouldn't get up there and say, hey, my name's Tim Porter, I'm glad I'm here. Hey, by the way, my favorite subject just happens to be me. That would be strange. The principle, though, everybody's favorite subject is themselves. You see it all the time in the conversations throughout the day. What do people like to talk about? They like to talk about their kids. They like to talk about their family, their vacation, their fishing spot, the favorite fishing spot, or their golf game. You see it all the time. So this will help you to leverage that, understand the psychology behind that, and then use that when you're connecting with your customers in trust and rapport to make sure that you're really out to serve them and to bring value to that conversation, really whether they buy from you or not. And that will take you above the crowd when it comes to selling and your services. A couple of the other things the book will do for you is it will make you a better salesperson, and it will increase your earning power. And also it will enable you to win new customers and new clients. And that will go back to understanding the leverage of everybody's favorite subject is themselves. And then the other distinction, and we tie this into the memory training, is the sweetest sound to everyone's ears is what? It's their name. So when you meet somebody, shake their hand, 5 seconds later, poof, the name vanishes into thin air. That happens for a reason, and it's not because you have a bad memory, it's because your mind thinks so fast, you're probably 3 or 4 steps ahead in the conversation. So during the Mastering Your Memory meeting, we talk about and give you a cure-all for that. So if you follow the steps, you'll fix that problem more than 85% of the time. And that's just part of the program. So the How to Win Friends and Influence People is going to help you to become a better speaker, a better conversationalist, and it's going to take the principles of psychology and let you apply them in your daily contact. I had one of my mentors and trainers once told me that sales is a Broadway play conducted by a psychologist. Raise your hand if you agree that or know that to be true. So when you're out in the arena and it's rough and tumble, that you know that when you understand the psychology behind what you're doing, why you're saying what you're saying, why you're handling the objections the way you're handling them, it's like scripted out. You know what's going to happen, whether they buy or not buy, but you'll be able to take them and move them through the buying process and overcome all the obstacles that are in the way or that they throw in the way. So there's some key principles there. And I want to keep this video short, so I'll wrap it up. I'm going to throw down a bit of a challenge. This is going to come right out of the challenge is me, but the principle, what I'm going to challenge you on, comes right out of the book. And this is on the fundamental techniques for how you handle people. They recommend, and he teaches you, do not complain, do not condemn, and do not criticize. So my challenge to you is no complaining, no condemning, and no criticizing of anybody for 7 days. And that's your coworkers, that's anybody on your team, that's anybody that's above you, management above you. That's your spouse, your kids, your stepkids, your in-laws, and your outlaws. Just no complaining for 7 days and see what will happen. Just that one little distinction will change your life, and he talks about that all throughout the book. So, having said that, I just want to wrap up and just encourage you, if you haven't read it, get it, put it on the nightstand, read this book and study it. It can make a huge impact. And anybody on your team, get them to read it if they haven't read it, and you'll see tremendous value come from that book, and just like it's helped millions of people over the last 75 years. If you have an interest in picking up the conversation on mastering your memory as a topic for one of your meetings, would love to connect with you for about 3 to 5 minutes, just a quick phone call. The instructions are on the email. Just click on the Time Trade link. That'll take you right to the calendar. We can schedule that at a time that works for you and me, and we'll take care of that, see if it fits. Promise you it'll be one of the best meetings you have all year. And just take this information, go back, be brilliant with the basics. They say in defense wins championships. How to win friends and influence people will keep you above the competition if you apply these ideas and these time-tested strategies. Thanks for stopping by.